So, welcome to this presentation on ADSL. My name is Dimitri Garbi. I'm an avionics systems expert at EASA. We are going to cover the scope of ADSL, its concept, the content of the messages, and how ADSL will be standardized. So, as mentioned in the AMC to SERA 6005C, there are three means of compliance for the high conspicuity. We can picture them chronologically. You see a timeline at the bottom of the screen showing where we are today. The first means is a certified ADS-B out transponder. This becomes more and more common in larger airplanes and helicopters. Now for the future, the first way to use ADSL will be through transmission on the SRD 860 band. This band can be operated license-free by uncertified low-cost devices, as is the case today with various solutions such as FLARM, OGN, FANET, PilotAware, or others. Further in the future, ADSL may also be used via mobile telephony networks with the help of smartphone applications. Both these versions define a scope of ADSL and are novelties which are proposed in the frame of the U-Space regulation. So the concept behind ADSL is to constitute the minimum standard to make an aircraft, which is flying in the U-Space airspace, conspicuous to the U-Space service providers. The aim for the standard is to be as light as possible. So we want it to be compatible with low-cost devices and mobile telephones. It will use only GNSS as a sensor, and it will be roughly derived from ADS-B while being simplified. Also, we foresee that beyond the conspicuity objective, ADSL may support, in the future, safety-enhancing applications for general aviation, such as traffic awareness in the cockpit. So here's a functional diagram of the concept. The device supporting ADSL is using three types of inputs: a GNSS position source, pilot inputs, and a set of configuration parameters. The message generation function will elaborate all of the required ADSL parameters and forward them to the transmitter. The message will be physically formatted and then transmitted out of the aircraft on the appropriate frequency. It will be received on the ground and reach the U-Space service provider. Here are the parameters which are required in the ADSL messages. So first, to identify the aircraft itself, there is an address and an address type, such as an ICAO 24-bit address. A timestamp has to be included in the message for the mobile telephone applications. An aircraft category will identify whether the aircraft is a light aircraft, an ultralight, a glider, or other type of aircraft. Position and altitude parameters, of course, will be provided coming from the GNSS, as well as the velocities and track. The GNSS position accuracy parameter. And finally, a version number to maximize the compatibility and allow future evolutions of the standard. Here are the parameters which are optional. An emergency status triggered by the pilot. The velocity accuracy provided by the GNSS sensor. The design assurance of the device. And finally, integrity parameter for the position. In addition to the list of the parameters that we have just seen, there are three other characteristics that the ADSL messages should meet. So first, a minimum transmission rate, which is of 1 Hz for the position parameter and 0.1 Hz for the other parameters. At least one error detection technique embedded in the message. and a primary use of GNSS, as said, for the position parameters. To finish, here is how ADSL will be standardized. So the message content and characteristic are described in Appendix 1 to AMC1 SERA 6005 Charlie, which is included in the NPA 2021-14 already today in public consultation. So this is what we have seen on the previous slides. For the SRD 860 transmission, a technical paper will soon be drafted in cooperation with the industry. The purpose is to make the transmission easily compatible with existing devices through an update. It is foreseen that the standard will specify how the message should be formatted and transmitted, but as well include examples for source code of the transmitter and the receiver. That's the end of the presentation. Thank you for your attention.